Hi, welcome to another video on my fischertechnik TXT controller, and this is about the Discovery robot. And in the past I have tried to use ROBOPro for color recognition, which in my opinion did not work. I'm using Linux, and as you can see, when I click on here and I click on the camera, and it shows totally nothing. Even worse, and let me get hopefully back to the main function. When I start the test interface, I should have a camera tab here, and I don't need to tell you that it's not there. So the only thing I can do is just try and run it, and that has failed in the past. However, as you know, I have also used Python, and actually still am using it. And for that I simply go here, the password, and I can run this script, which creates camera images. Unfortunately, this way I know that the camera does work, I just can't use color recognition. So I do know that the camera works. I don't need this, by the way. I can also use the community kernel, and in one of my discovery videos, I think the last one or the last but one, I found that I have included a camera test, and that test gives extremely nice images. So that proves it's not a camera, but then what is it? So the only thing to find out is to upload it onto the controller. The only problem is that I have nothing on this, because it doesn't work that way. I can see it does something. So what I want to do is first try to do it online, so you can see what happens, and then I want to do it offline. But anyway, enough talk. Let's prepare the whole thing and then have a go. So to explain this program, it's a start, goes forward, and it has some touches, evade left or evade right, but if you don't do anything, it checks for the color red. If there's no recognition, it just goes on and on and on. If it says red, it drives a little bit backward, it turns around, and that's continuing. So that much for this algorithm, which only runs red. I have also made another program which tests for red, green and blue. Seems to work. However, there is a catch, because the by using the Python program, I found that this camera, the TXT USB camera, is very sensitive for light. So if you have too much light into the camera, it gets overexposed, image gets white, and you see absolutely nothing. So right now I am going to test it, and you will see what happens. So this is the first setup. The floor plan you may recognize. It is the TXT color floor map. With the camera pointed into the light and well, red stripe and red block, which is actually the RF interface. So let's run it and see what happens. And as you can see, it just runs. So it isn't bothered by the color at all. And by let me put it the other side around. And let's see what happens this time. Nothing either. So this is doing it online. So I'm running the program from the computer via Wi-Fi on the controller. So right now it is time to do it in another way. The same first setup, however I will do it on the controller. So I will see if the file is still, and there is no file on the controller loaded. So that's what I'm going to do now. Right now it's loaded, because you can see that because it's green to start, and let's go. And that's an ouch. And I turn it around, and you also notice it is not going in a straight line, but let's see how this works now. Will it bother? And yes, now it works. And then it runs, and it has to be stopped. So let's do that again. And I'll extend it by putting a red object on the other side. So let's do it again. And that's an ouch. So things don't always go as you plan. Let's do it once more. And now there's a problem. So it goes off the light, and not exactly the way I anticipated. One more try, and a careful placement of the red object. And there it goes. So as you can see, I had to stop it out of the camera view, but as you can see, it does respond to the red, but only off the light, and when it's going towards the light, it gets blinded by the light and it just runs. So, time for the next setup. And this next setup is, as you can see, here a block and there a block, but the light is coming still from the same direction. So let's see how that works out. And that's a clear ouch. So let's see how it works out now. And I had to lift it up and hold in front of the camera, but you see it doesn't hold to the plan. Which is quite unfortunate. So let's go and see again. Whatever may happen. There it goes. Now it stops. And there you see that even when it is pointed slightly to the light, it doesn't work at all. So let's do one more test. And unfortunately I have to hold the object in front of the camera. And now it won't hold because it's running straight into the light. So you'll see that color recognition is very well possible, but quite conditionally. And the condition being the light. Or more appropriately, the amount of light. So let's do the test again. And hopefully it will do a 180 degrees turn. And again I had to hold the object in front of the camera, so it isn't bothered by anything and just runs off the camera. Now a problem is that I have now done a few tests with red objects, but of course there's red on this map, and when I hold my ruler here, it's 30 centimeters, then you can easily see it needs quite a distance to even capture the red. So what I want to do first is to put it on the far red line and see what happens. And in case it goes into a straight line, it should detect the red and act accordingly. Which it doesn't. So I put it right there. Also straight in front of the red line. See what happens. And also it passes the red line, but even then it doesn't do anything. So it doesn't respond to the red line at all. And that is a pretty bad thing. Let me point the camera again. So where does it get the most of the red? Right from below the camera. So let me put it somewhere there. Then it has some time to think, or distance to think. And let's see what happens now. It should get at least 3 opportunities to detect red, which is here, here and here. So let's see what happens. And it goes off the map. So let's see what happens now. Nothing. And it doesn't even respond to this red battery pack. So this makes me wonder how sensitive everything is. Let me put it back here with the red object right here and do it again. It straight diverges. And I have to really hold it in front of it. And right now you can see that it doesn't work, and not into the light. So as you have seen in the camera test, it does work, but it doesn't work flawlessly. It is very light dependent. Too much light and it won't see anything anymore. And this is just a test with the red color. And if I show my own program, because this is a test that was delivered by the ROBOPro developer. If I show you my own algorithm again, it's a little bit slow. However, I do test on black. There it is. I do test on black, on red, green and blue. And I have tested on all of them, and as long as you don't have too much light shining into the camera, it works. And that is not a very nice thought, because for instance with this robot you want to be independent. You want to be independent of light, the amount of light. So is this a positive thing? No. Although the camera works nicely, you need to have a light filter, a sunglass, as far as I'm concerned. A light filter. And with that conclusion, I know that color recognition does work. The former videos have been made, at least the first 3, with another TXT controller. Of course, I cannot tell if that controller was broken or not, but with the knowledge now, the controller is fine, the camera is fine, software is fine. It's just dependent of light, which is too bad. So thank you for watching, and I think this will be the final color recognition video, because it is kind of solved. So thanks, and hope you watch my other videos as well. Bye bye.